Hey guys, I'm Andrew McComb and welcome to Web3 TV. In today's video, I'm with Rami James from Ultra.io and we're going to discuss play-to-earn gaming and whether you should be partaking in it or not. But before we do, make sure you register to watch every episode of Web3 TV here, where we share inspiring stories of all things Web3, making a difference to the world. All sorted? Okay, let's go. Rami from Ultra, welcome back to Web3 TV. We have a
Happy
problem.
to be here.
Nice to see you again. We've got a problem, mate. We have a question that is, what kind of markets develop around games today, and what are your thoughts around play-to-earn gaming? Now, I state that is a problem. Why is that a problem?
Well, play-to-earn gaming at its core, I think, is pretty problematic because you're talking about a lot of people that are investing a lot of their time to generate what is for them really low amounts of value. And then that value is migrated to the publishers or developers of those games. And the people that have money in the space, whether they already hold a lot of cryptocurrency or whether they're interested in putting money into cryptocurrency, they spend inordinate amounts on the NFTs, which are required to play those play-to-earn games in the current iterations, right? And I think that what ends up happening there is it limits the scope of the number of players who will actually play those games. Because frankly, there are not that many people in the world that are willing to drop $1,000 to play a game. It's not reasonable. So it limits the scope of the amount of people that are going to play the game, and it limits the wider interest. I think that from a PR perspective, it doesn't look good for the space because it looks like people are being leveraged in a way which is not positive. And at the end of the day, it doesn't bring joy. It doesn't bring a good play experience. It doesn't bring value to the people that want to play. So when you talk about like play to earn gaming today, the markets that are developed are very insular and frankly not that interesting.
So what are those markets?
Well, you have for each game, you'll have either one or multiple sets of NFTs, which are minted by the platform, by the developer. And then those are used to gate access to the game. So I'll use Axie. I particularly don't like Axie, where you have to buy a bunch of their different players to be able to play in the game. Like you need a set. And, the price of those players are pushed up by the limited number. So it's kind of like a fake market, like that isn't a real representation of the value of the individual piece, the individual little character that you have to buy. It's just lots of people wanted to play, so they didn't mint that many. And to be able to get access, you have to pay a lot, which means that the people that bought in early, if they knew that they were supposed to buy in early, they bought way more than they were supposed to, and then they sell it on the market, and that's just not fun. Like, especially if you're just like interested in like exploring and interested in playing, that's not a fun play experience.
No, it's a massive barrier, isn't it? So I guess they've been lured in with the potential reward of earning while they play, but it sounds to me like they're being used as opposed to a win-win process.
Right. And I think that that's like the point here, that when you're talking about play to earn gaming, it's kind of about just using players or using gamers. And I think that if we want wider mainstream adoption, we want like people from outside the space to look in and be like, hey, that's cool, I want to be part of that. If we like build those types of games, people are going to look in from the outside of the space and say, hey, that's lame. And I don't want the games that I'm involved in, the projects that I'm involved in, for people outside of it to be like, hey, why are you involved in that? That's not cool. And what that actually means is that there has to be kind of like a a shift in mentality from the developer or the publisher perspective in what's appropriate to develop, and that will be largely guided by the market. Part of what I do at Ultra is to talk to game developers or publishers and say, hey, listen, this is the right way to develop a game. This is what makes it fun. This is what makes it interesting. We realize that you're new to the NFT space. Let us help you. Let us guide you. And there has to be more of that for, I think, to my mind, a wider acceptance of the technologies within the gamer ecosystem.
So what is the right way? So it's fun and engaging.
Frankly, I think NFTs should be free. I think that's not something which is caught on right now. I think that people are still enamored with the idea that you can sell NFTs for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. If your price point to play the game is above $20, $30 total, including purchasing the game if you're buying a license, and then access to any of the NFTs that you might need for gated access to special features. If it's above 20 or $30, you're probably doing it wrong. And when we talk about NFTs, giving them away for free, people are why would you do that? The reason that you do that is because the most valuable thing that you can have is a player that is going to continue playing. And when you want a player to continue playing, the best way to do that is to build a relationship of loyalty between you and them. So you say, here, I'm going to give you access to cool stuff. It's not going to be in the very beginning. It'll be through, here's a contest, or here's a thing that we're doing with our players, and here's an airdrop where, oh, you've been playing for a month. Here's some access to new functionality, and it's gated through NFTs. We give it to you because we know that at the end of the day, you're going to keep playing and having a higher user base, more interested players that talk to their friends, and they bring more people in. That is way more valuable than selling an NFT for $1,000.
And in addition to that, what do you see as the future ideal scenario for play to earn? So maybe it's not
for play to earn, to die a fiery, horrible death.
Yeah, that's
really I'm super serious. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the alternative for you? What's the vision for you other than free NFTs? What would you like to see that people are rewarded as a win-win scenario between the developer and the gamer?
I would like to see versions of Web 2 gaming experiences, which are enabled, are expanded through NFT technology or blockchain technology. So an example, I don't know if there's anybody out there that likes Stardew Valley as much as I do, really like that game. Basically, it's a farming game where you exist in a small world and you do your thing, you build your farm, you have an experience. Now, being able to have that as a massively multiplayer game, which you are a farmer and you farm carrots, I don't know, carrots, whatever, and then you go to an open market and you sell those carrots, and other players buy those carrots because they need those carrots to make I don't know, carrot salad or whatever in the game. And there's this ecosystem of coordination, which happens through NFTs. I think that is the vision that me in the blockchain space should be pushing towards, because what it actually is about extended functionality for the play experience, which is already valuable for the users. So the play experience is valuable for the users because it's fun, and then you're bolting on extra stuff, extra fun stuff that they can do because the technology allows it.
Mm. I also just intuitively, as you're saying that, I feel that what a great way to educate people on how to do business through gamification in that farm scenario. It would just be fantastic if there was with a platform available to do that sort of thing. And I guess that's another question: is there a platform available that does play to, and we'll call it play to earn, but it won't necessarily be that, but that is play to earn for people in that ideal scenario that you mentioned?
Well, a lot of those concepts and technologies are really, really new, that have only really emerged in the last like 6 to 12 months. And I have not seen any games which, any games which allow users to do the kinds of things that I'd like them to do yet. And there's some technological barriers that, like we've talked about in a previous episode, which make for that to be really difficult. At the developer level, it's really difficult. At the player level, making sure that they have a smooth experience, that's really difficult. But I think that those difficulties are largely behind us, and if not, then they will be in the next year or so.
Mm-hmm. Well, Rami, thanks for sharing your wisdom in relation to play to earn gaming, or ideally not play to earn gaming. Guys, if you've got any questions for Rami, leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video. Well, there it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Web3 TV episode. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. And remember, if you'd like to watch every episode of Web3 TV, visit the link below or subscribe to our channel. And remember to hit the bell icon so that we can notify you every time a new episode is released. I'm Andrew McComb, and I look forward to sharing more inspiring Web3 TV episodes, making a difference to the world. I'll see you soon.